Thank you, Mr. President, and I appreciate the gentleman's comments before me. I just want to rise today to inform you and the public of some highly disturbing information that I've just learned about a broken agency within our federal government, something actually that Senator Carper and I have been actually working on, and I know that he will have great interest in this issue. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA. We all know that Washington doesn't spend our money wisely, the money that they collect from individual citizens. They just don't spend it wisely. But sometimes it's worth highlighting examples of the corruption and waste that's actually taking place in the federal government. Yesterday morning, I contacted the Commerce Department Inspector General to request a copy of their report on NOAA's purchase of a $300,000 luxury boat. It would be bad enough if they had purchased this boat with taxpayer dollars, but they didn't. They actually didn't. They paid for it with money that should belong to our struggling fishermen. They paid for it out of fines that fishermen pay into the pot when they mistakenly catch the wrong kind of fish. Those dollars are supposed to actually stay in the fishing communities to help the fishermen. Now, I'd just like to point out, here's actually the boat, right here. This is a copy of the actual boat that was purchased. For a government vessel, I'd say, quite frankly, it's pretty flashy. So let's take a look inside this boat. Now, this is a fully apportioned bar, nice, the latest on-board entertainment systems, the leather furniture, complete with the ice chest and the tackle rack. It's just, I mean, gosh, I think anyone would love to have a boat like this. Well, NOAA actually has this boat. Furthermore, the fines that the fishermen have been paying are putting fishermen out of business. I'll tell you, this story just breaks your heart. It breaks my heart. It's something I speak about regularly when I'm with our fishermen back in Massachusetts. So let me actually describe the situation to people who are listening up in the gallery and also the people that are watching. NOAA levied totally unreasonable fines against our fishermen. They used that money to buy themselves a luxury boat. So what else did the IG investigation find? Well, here we go, Mr. President. According to the IG, NOAA had no reasonable official use for this boat. Let's start there. They didn't need it, period. They had some story about needing an undercover vessel. Can you put that back up? Now, this is an undercover vessel, I'll tell you. I don't know how they'd see them coming here at all. So it's an undercover vessel to sneak up on whale-watching vehicles. Imagine that, armed federal agents sneaking up on school groups and tourists trying to learn about nature. The IG found this to be ridiculous. NOAA officials wanted this useless luxury boat. Then they invented a reason to buy it with the fishermen's hard-working dollars. So why did NOAA go to such lengths to manipulate and violate the government purchasing rules to get this boat, this luxury craft? NOAA already has many boats and more cars than it actually has agents. Can you imagine that? They actually have more cars and boats than they actually have people that can actually drive them. So why add this to the inventory? Well, I know, Mr. President, you're shocked, but apparently they didn't need it for official purposes. We know that because the IG says that it was never, and I repeat, never used for official purposes. The sad truth is that it was a fisherman-funded party boat for bureaucrats, Mr. President. That's right. While fishermen in Gloucester, New Bedford, Fall River are struggling to put off foreclosure or mourning the loss of their livelihood because of NOAA's overzealous enforcement, the NOAA office was living a good life in this boat on their dime. NOAA official used the boat for the following: trips to dockside restaurants, hamburger and hot dog barbecues, and alcohol-fueled parties with family and friends, pleasure cruises at high rates of speed with beer consumed on board. Even though federal rules ban non-employees from being on vessels, a NOAA supervisor even told a subordinate that his wife was welcome to kick back and watch TV in the boat. Sounds like fun. They filed their expense reports and reimbursed themselves for these trips even. What excuse did NOAA employees have for giving and having this type of behavior? They needed it to do all the things to maintain the recreational appearance of this undercover boat that was never even used for the undercover work that it was supposed to be purchased for. I mean, let's be serious. You know, a booze cruise is a booze cruise, and that's what we're talking about here. One NOAA officer decided to take his family on a weekend trip to a posh resort. He took the undercover NOAA party boat to get there, but he was actually untrained on how to use it and operate it, and blew out the engine, a $30,000 cost. And rather than actually write the taxpayers a check, he simply abandoned it and took a marked NOAA law enforcement boat the rest of the way to their resort. Nothing could get between this NOAA employee and a good time, Mr. President. And when asked about the incident, a NOAA employee lied to the IG and said there was no family on board. It was just one of the many instances of NOAA employees deliberately misleading the IG. Another NOAA officer used the undercover boat to take his wife to lunch in Seattle. On this trip, the boat engine stalled in a shipping lane, a dangerous area potentially because the boat ran out of fuel due to another operator error. The guy didn't know how to switch the tanks from one tank to another to continue on with his luncheon cruise. So they were stuck drifting in a dangerous shipping lane. The officer and his wife apparently found the situation comical. Well, I don't think the fishermen of New Bedford, Fall River, and Gloucester are laughing, Mr. President. Again, the money that belongs to our hardworking fishermen are paying for all this. I just can't even fathom that type of behavior, especially in this tough time where we're all in a fiscal emergency. To this day, Mr. President, no one has been held accountable. Let me repeat that. No one has been disciplined, fired, or even reprimanded for anything having to do with this boat. As you see here today, NOAA has a culture of corruption that has created a chasm of distrust between the agency and the fishing industry, something that absolutely needs to be reestablished. I'd like to take one more minute and my question is, Mr. President, and not you, Mr. President, the real Mr. President, President Obama, and Dr. Lubchenco, what does it take to get fired from NOAA? We have the abusive treatment of fishermen resulting in the decimation of fleet, investigations motivated by money, improper fines leading to foreclosure and bankruptcy, shredding parties destroying 75 to 80% of the required documents before an investigation, lying to the IG, discouraging cooperation with the IG, misleading members of Congress, the $300,000 party boat, $12,000 in party boat expenses, paid with fishermen fines, $30,000 engine destroyed by NOAA employee on his weekend vacation, and no one is held accountable, Mr. President. It's unacceptable. This needs to change, and accountability starts at the top. NOAA's leadership needs to change, and I'm calling one more time, Mr. President, to have President Obama fire NOAA Administrator James Lubchenco. And if not now, when? If for not this, right here, then for what? What does it take to get fired at NOAA? Our fishermen and the American taxpayers deserve better from their federal government. Thank you, Mr. President.